mean, in terms of like a support to support matchup in that lane, Undying destroys Tiny. Like, Tiny's probably gonna have to go boots first, and even then, I don't think it's amazing.
10 seconds remaining.
Tiny's just a slow hero in general.
5 seconds remaining.
Tiny Tree and Protector for your supports doesn't exactly seem that great either.
No, I don't know what you mean in terms of like, they're both good at what they do individually, but because it's double melee, it feels a little bit awkward. But then you're against Tusk Undying, right? So, but I prefer the Tusk Undying much more. Like, it just feels like the Tiny Tree's a little bit more greedy. Like, they can't fight early on as much, I don't think. Because like this 3-4-5 from Blaze, or I assume it's Nature's Prophet 3. It could be like mid or 1 as well, but they look so strong right now. Like, all these heroes love to fight early on. They love to brawl. They're not afraid to get involved. And so for the Dream, we need to pick a hero that can do that themselves. Okay, I like it. This is good. So now you play the Veno 3 with the Tiny 4. It's a good lane combination. And now they need to think about what hero they want to pick into that, like which carry they want to play. Oh, actually, they get DP. I don't know about that. It's okay, but I didn't see any particular reason to pick the DP right there.
10 seconds remaining.
Death Prophet. Is this Nature's Prophet going to end up safe lane?
It could do. I still wouldn't mind seeing it with the Tusk, but they could put DP in the offlane now as well. Like, the DP and the Nature's Prophet could play 1 through 3, like both of them. So they have so much flexibility coming into their last pick in the draft.
Dire team bad.
I think they'll probably end up putting the Nature's Prophet 3 in the DP mid and then pick their 1 here. I'm trying. Is Jug banned? No, it's Troll. Troll is banned though. Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
What else? I'm trying to think if heroes that lane against Veno okay. Maybe like PA or something might be okay. Or like Ricky potentially, but it doesn't feel great. I'm trying to think of like, because maybe PL, actually PL sounds pretty good.
Radiant team bad.
Yeah, and there's the Zeus ban as well, which makes me think that it's going to pick an illusion hero. Like, because they need some wave clear as well on For the Dream. Like, high ground defense wave clear, not like Nature's Grasp.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Ban the Luna, so they think they're still looking for a 1.
Yeah, I think Jug and PL would be my main 2 here. I think you want some hero with mobility against the Veno that allows you to jump and kill him early on, because this Undying can give you kill threat on the Veno in the early stages.
I mean, that's also if
10 seconds
you're not throwing the Nature's Prophet 1, right?
5
Yeah, I mean,
seconds
yeah. I'm just assuming they're going to pick a position 1. They could pick another position, but if I had to choose 2 heroes, I would assume they were both going to be position 1s.
Yeah.
And I would assume it's going to be something that's a little bit mobile. Like, Jug has spin, which is really nice. PL has the doppelganger, obviously. I could see something like a Naga working potentially as well, but... what else is there? Slark, maybe? Could be okay. Natural Silver Edge builder against the Spectre's nice as well.
Sometimes that Silver Edge build-up, though, feels slow.
I think it's fine, though, when you're against the Spectre, in particular. They could even pick AM or something I don't think is awful. I actually think Jug is my favourite, though.
I think
because,
it fits really well.
Sorry?
I think the Jug fits really well.
Yeah, like, it can play tempo with them, with the healing ward and everything. Like, it's really difficult for the Tiny to ever gank the Jug because he has spin. Same with Veno. But the only thing they have to stop him is this, like, overgrowth. But it's a natural manta builder as well. Oh, okay. I don't like that.
And
yeah.
whoa.
They knew exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, they took no time at all to go for that Broodmother.
I really hate this Lifestealer pick. Like, it's an okay quarter core matchup against the Spectre because Spectre naturally builds tanky. But I think... Yeah, I don't know. It's the same idea for the Jug that when you pop Rage, you should be really difficult to kill this game and whatnot. Until the Broodmother comes out, obviously. But, yeah, I actually have no idea what they do. Like, this DP against Broodmother mid should get absolutely destroyed. There's no point talking about any other lane at the moment because I think Brood looks like it can just take over the game.
Mm-hmm.
They have Punch, which is BKB piercing, which is nice. But they have no AoE in their lineup at all. So, like, the spiders are going to be impossible to kill. Apart from, like, Crypt Swarms, I guess. Oh, it looks horrendous to play against. I'd feel so bad if I was Blaze this game. Because it's not like you have a Mars or a Centaur that you can now move mid to lane up against the Brood and then put your mid laner off lane instead. They just don't have anything. Like, this Brood pick's so good.
And this could be a quick game too from the Brood,
especially with how tilted they were in game 2, like GGing really early. I don't see this going well, I'll be honest.
Yeah, not even trying to hold on to it. They just let it go. But sometimes like maybe that's not tilt, and I feel like that might be the mental save decision. Does that make sense? Like, don't let it go too far. Don't let yourself get stressed out too much. Just call it.
If they've become professional Dota players, they will have played a lot of pubs in their lifetime which look like they're out of reach and they still end up winning. Because that's like 1 in 100 even. Like, that happens, right? Because the other team can throw. The fact that they GG'd out that early means that they genuinely don't see how they can win the game.
Yeah.
And it's when they're like 5k behind, I think that's a problem. Maybe they felt like it was more, but like... I don't know. It's a problem.
Top. Kaz just getting spotted here. Nothing's gonna come of this.
You remember how I have like the Kunkka check on my radar for like coming into last pick of the draft?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to add Brood to that.
Well, is Brood the only big cheese right now?
Well, it got banned in game 1 in this series as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know if Brood's cheese. Like, sometimes it's just a free Brood game in the sense that like sometimes it feels like a free Ember game, sometimes it feels like a free Lifestealer game. Sometimes it feels like a free Deucer game or a Slark game, right? Like, they just have no AoE. So, and they have no way of, like, killing the Brood, it feels like. They just went all in on, like, lane domination early on. Like, these early skirmishes. And now they have nothing to do with this crazy spider. And it's the guy that played Ember last game as well that's playing Brood, so that fills me with a lot of confidence. Because I think he played incredibly well.
So let's see how this mid matchup goes. I feel like this is the most important matchup of the game, because if it goes really well, Brood just takes over. And that's that.
100%.
So, what's the way to go about this, though?
I honestly wish I could give you an answer. I actually don't know. It's the honest truth. Like, they have to absolutely crush their side lanes, I think, and just hope that the Brood doesn't get too much mid. Because it's not even just the Brood you have to worry about, it's the Spectre as well, which going into the late game is going to be the strongest hero.
So you could take over for the Brood over in the early mid game. That opens up the game for Spectre, and at that point, Brood's probably going to be pretty strong as well. So, like, it seems like the game plan for the Dream seems pretty decent.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is for the Radiant side that the Brood and Spectre have different timings in the game. So maybe if this Brood's really strong, the Spectre still won't be able to fight quite yet. DP's actually playing the lane really well though at the start. But this is the only time in the game where the DP's going to be really strong in comparison, so she has to win this part of the game.
Brood's in actually very low.
Jesus. Why? You need to be sitting your hero slightly further back than this. Like, you shouldn't be tanking crits, like 4 crit swarms in a row, I feel like. Like, not even when you're not next to the creep wave, it just shouldn't happen. But this is where, like, the Brood just goes to the jungle now. Like, this is...
Goes to the jungle, you know, finally has that salve that gets delivered. If DP had come over and just thrown that Crypt Swarm to stop that salve, that would have been very impressive. And it does come through eventually, but it's not there to stop that salve. And I think, man, that would have been such a blind throw. Tiny. Getting low for a second. Nothing too terrible.
How's this bot lane going? That's the one to me that is a little bit funky, at least.
DP's 32-1. I was gonna say, yeah, there is spider wings though.
Oh, Undying top lane.
Getting low on the run from the Venomancer. One more shot. First blood's there for YRG.
I'll take all credit for that one.
You're welcome. I meant to say thank you.
I know. It's fine. Don't worry. DP really wants this 4-minute rune here. It's actually going to spawn top. Oh, that's so bad for the DP.
Oh, and
Oh,
Tiny's
God.
on it too.
Oh, no. It's a regen as well. And they're just going to give it to the Tiny, which is so good for him individually. Because he had, like, no mana to work with as well. I actually think that's such a game-losing play for the DP. Like, that 50-50. That feels so bad. Because now she can't pressure with Crypt Swarm the same that she was before.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that just allows Brood to kind of sustain in this lane and really start bringing it back. But he's giving up so much Spiderwing blood, gold, as Spectre
blood
will
as well,
die
but-
bottom.
DP has 51 CS in less than 5 minutes, dude. What a good laning stage.
Nox, what's the most CS in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah. On a DP. I don't understand how this Brood's just tanking so many Crypt Swarms on the spiders and his hero, though. Every single time. I feel like that's really poor micro.
Yeah, and if you're going to pick Brood, you'd expect better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, it's a free Brood game, but if it fills me with less confidence now than I had at the start of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I will say, though, with all that CS and all those Spiderlings, Death Prophet's only slightly above this Brood.
Yeah, of course. But, like, I feel like the Brood should be doing better. Like, again, his hero and his spiders just both get hit by the Crypt Swarm.
Lunge toss. Kaz in trouble again. YRG as well as the Tiny just moving forward to get this kill on the Undying.
Lifesteal is just free farming though, so like I don't think they're too worried about this, to be honest.
Brood is level 7 now, but the Spider's just... You're gonna need him to try and go in, right? And
Oh, the
it
haste
just feels
feels
like
top as well.
XHD is not getting much. Much in terms of...
Oh, he didn't refill the bottle because he didn't have a slot in his inventory on Undying. Oh, that's really bad.
I was gonna say...
Yeah. Yeah, that's awful, actually. Like, he TP'd in from base but had 6 slots in his inventory when his TP went off. That's... yeah. Okay.
I was saying the Death Prophet hasn't had much in terms of resistance from this Broodmother. But I guess now with the Spiderlings and the webs, everything level 7, about to hit that level 8, things should go a little bit easier. Sidesteps a Crypt Swarm for once.
And she blocks the other medium camp as well, which is really nice.
XHD. We'll just walk away. I kind of like stumbled on that sentence before. I was like, yeah, you know, there hasn't been much blowback from this brood.
Yeah. I always say the only thing about this mid brood that I dislike in comparison to the old patches and things is that you don't get access to the ancients anymore. So like her farming speed decreases massively in comparison to those old patches.
Oh, Nature gets a bunch of Spiderling gold.
They are absolutely crushing the silos, though. Especially this bot lane that this Nature's Prophet's absolutely destroying. And look at Spectre's item build. Why he had Helm of Dom queued up? Like, okay, but why?
Over mid. Well, if I secure the rune here for the Death Prophet. And Brute's going straight into that Diffusal. Yeah, not a surprise. I think with that Diffusal, the lane gets... Well, it shouldn't be a lane at that point, but you can chase this Death Prophet.
I'm really worried about the Spectre, though. I think the Spectre not getting a huge amount of farm is a big worry. Because the Brood's not taking over the game like I expected him to, and the Spectre's not having a good time. Like, between them, it feels really bad. Those two things. Oh, Keen Optic for the Brood's great, though.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Exorcism used. So, Spiderlings and Brood himself need to be a little bit careful on this.
Here comes Tiny.
Over, Avalanche, and you see the damage coming in. Death Prophet gonna end up dead.
Oh, that's a huge kill. And Lifestealer is going Midas this game, which I think he should. It's so much better. And they're just going to go for this mid-tier 1 here by the looks of it. They've got the Venom wards coming over as well. And it pretty much just dies straight away, actually, with all these little spiders.
Dire's middle tower
Quick
has
tower.
And now...
That's the beginning of taking over the game.
So I'm no Brood expert, right? But
Dire's middle tower
I'm pretty
is under
sure, like, Brood at this point, you still want to just carry on playing around mid until you get, like, your Diffusal plus... Maybe even +1. Like, you don't... You just need to keep farming.
Tombstone committed, but they've got the toss, and 4 heroes here around Biano try to TP out. Successful in doing so. Good decay on a 3.
What a disaster.
Yeah, this is really not a good initiation from For the Dream. They're going to lose the Venomancer. YRG goes down to XHD. Bounty to fill the bottom. For the Death Prophet.
And Spectre's gonna, Spectre has to TP top here, because he can't fight into the Life Sealer.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just farming up towards top, and Brood's not top of the net worth. Usually you'll see Broods kind of excel in that, but does it come for the Diffusal? Has this Brood game kind of just hit a point where maybe even just an early timing's been missed?
Yeah, I think so. The laning stage didn't go anywhere near as well as I thought it should have. But the DP played really well, to be fair. Mid lane, though, I say that.
Spectre.
Okay. My bad.
Kill with the Brood.
Sorry, XHD, that was me.
Punk gets used, jumped over to Kaz. But getting that Death Prophet, ooh, this is a stack here that I don't think that For the Dream need to be in. They need to go for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just stacked it for themselves, actually.
Stacked by the Undying.
Oh, right, okay. That's surprising. I don't know who was going to take the Ancient stack on their team.
Radiant's top tower
So
is under
now
attack.
Brood finally, I think, doing well enough where could see that Diffusal start to come and do some handiwork, especially against this Tusk and against these weaker supports. But at the same time, I say that it's like, do you think that this is the proper build going into the BKB, or should we be going Ags, open up that map more?
Oops. Good question. I don't think you go the Ags. I think the BKB is too good this game. Like, but the problem I see is that a lot of it is physical damage. So even if you go BKB, you're talking about the Brood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd double check just before I double down on this, but like you have to worry about the physical damage of like the Lifestealer, the Tusk, the
That was
Fury
really well
as well.
done by the Tusk.
Yeah, that was
Avoided the avalanche with the snowball.
I get a nice D-ward there on the Brood. Oh, this Lifestealer's got so much more farm than I thought he would. Like, he's going Mjolnir as well to help deal with the Brood. Which isn't the build that we saw last game. We saw him go for this Armlet Halberd, right? Or Armlet Desto even, I think it was. But but do you remember what we were saying yesterday? I'm glad I was wrong in the draft, because I thought this would be like... I thought they would be massively ahead on the Radiant at this point. But when you're wrong, it means you're learning. And so I must learn a lot.
I'm like half committed to the Brood's missed the early timing.
It's still a really good Brood game, because they don't really have great ways of, like, dealing with us still.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, look at this. He's just letting the spiders die to the dragon splash attack.
Again, it's the little things that worry me about this Brood.
Yeah, exactly. I've been on Brood Cam a lot. I feel like I'm being really harsh and critical, but you know.
But if the game was
Live with it.
kind of is, yeah. The game is kind of reliant on how well the Brood does.
Yeah, it is exactly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Orchid already here for the Nature's Prophet.
The Death Prophet just
Wrath of
crypt swarmed up
Nature,
the hill.
Top snowball, and they've got the Walrus Punch. They'll take out the Spectre. Good kill there, Top.
Like, imagine if they had another core instead of Spectre at the moment that could just take over the game with the Broodmother at the moment. I feel they'd be so much stronger, but because the Spectre can't fight, no matter what happens here, it's always going to be like 4 versus 5.
I think the only way Spectre's participating is if Spectre's coming in late to finish off some heroes. Or try to use that haunt to get some finishing blows in.
But this is why they like the Lifestealer so much, because it's a good core matchup against the Spectre. Because the Feast is on, like, permanent, like, because of their max HP. Infest comes out bot. They want this Brood here. And there's a ward here that spots the Brood. I say that the ward's getting dewarded now, but...
They'll come over. They'll go for this Infest Walrus Punch. Damage done to the Brood, but isn't enough. Snowballs there with the silence
as well.
And got the ulti off, but it's not going to matter. So killing that Brood, Blaze, this is pushing back those timings. Is it pushing back the timing or pushing forward the timing? Because the timing would expire, right, if it was pushed forward.
Oh god, so let's start this again. I hate this. Like, it's if a meeting gets brought forward by an hour, or pushed back by an hour, that was it, wasn't it? What does it mean? Have you heard this?
No, I've never heard that one before.
You've no. Okay, so say if a meeting's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the meeting gets moved forward by an hour. What time's the meeting?
1.
Yeah. Oh, was it moved forward? I think it was. But like some people think it is 3 o'clock instead. It was really weird.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They got that tier 1 so quickly with the Brood, and they just haven't gotten the chance to go for another tower just yet. Avalanche used, and now there's the Haunt. This is more so just to get away from the hands of the side of Blaze, but they're going to lose the Venomancer regardless.
Stay frosty.
Tusk, one of my favorite heroes in the game. That's for sure.
Look at Lifestealer's net worth in comparison to the Spectres. That's the big one. Because remember, these are both the position 1s.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, Lifestealer has really gone mental in terms of net worth. we were saying, he is K11, the 11th iteration of Hector.
And they're TPing in mid with the Prophet.
Yeah, they've got the Infest as well, so they've brought numbers, and this all of a sudden becomes very sketch for the sign-up for the Dream. They're going to lose the Tiny. Snowball gets the kill there, and K11 with another one. The Dream trying to leave, and will do so successfully.
Yeah, no use on the DP. Used it already, unfortunately, so couldn't cancel the TP. I'm really surprised DP went for 30 damage instead of 12% magic resistance at level 10.
Death Prophet in some trouble, but the TP not enough. Ooh, not fast.
That's not going to work.
That's the kill that we were expecting from Brood earlier. Like, those kind of just run you down like that.
Because there's so many heroes you can do that to this game, like Undying as well, Tusk. Nature's Prophet's a little bit harder, just because of how farmed he is this game. But
I would say even the Tusk is a little bit difficult, just because he can buy time with Snowball.
Yeah, true, but I don't know, I still feel like he just dies eventually.
Yeah, I think it just gives you potential options to come over if need be. Or if you can. But Brood, again, keeping it close between himself and this Lifestealer. But realistically, the Lifestealer is just farming like a madman. So well.
Yeah, he's having a great game. That Dragon Scale is going to help massively as well, actually, up against the Brood. Gives him that little bit extra burst of armor. I assume he's going to go Halberd next as well with that Sanch. I feel like the Halberd's really important up against the Brood. Even if he's going BKB, like, oh, Blue, don't lose that clumsy net. Thank God. Picked it up. What's the Veno? We haven't talked about the Veno at all. 4-staff Vessel. Okay. 4-staff's really good up against the Prophet, so I get that.
BKB's almost finished for the Nature's Prophet. Wow.
How many minutes in it is it? And Tiny still doesn't have his blink, by the way.
Similar timing to the Tiny in the last game, except GG was called a lot closer to that timing.
It's exactly the same thing. Like, the hero feels useless because it doesn't have a blink, and it's 20 minutes into the game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's still 250 gold short. And so if they get bounty runes here, it should just about be enough. But, like, at this point in the game, like, they've almost finished their BKBs on the Dire side. Like, Prophet has a BKB pretty much. Lifestealer has Rage. The Death Prophet's got BKB. It's a little bit slower. She's a bit behind, but I don't think the Tiny's going to be a hero.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, but I will say Brood, if it gets these sags at a decent time, like, I don't think this game's gone in any sense of it. Like, I thought the timing was missed, but Brood's making up for it well enough. I think the aggression from Blaze is just not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we haven't seen them push with Exorcism. We haven't seen them try to force movements.
I don't think there's any pressure on Blaze, though, because this Broodmother's going to fall off eventually. Like, if this Lifestealer keeps farming, it's okay, because the Spectre's so far behind. I guess 20 minutes into the game, he's got Drum's Tread still. Like, and Yasha, obviously, but like, he hasn't finished his first proper item. I say proper, I mean, like, Drums. I don't really call Drums a proper item. And, like, Yasha's okay, but it's not really a fighting item either.
That's always fun. Spectre using that Haunt. Undying dies. They've got the Silence, and there's the Walrus Punch. Tiny dies again. They look over the Spectre. Poison Nova. Use BKB's being popped by the Brood Mother. Shards block out the Brood, but well, it only extends the inevitable.
This Brood
3-for-1 in the favor of FTD. Looking over at XHD, who's infested. If they can catch them, that would be great, but they won't.
Insanely good Brood BKB reveal. Really good fight. I think the fact they managed to get into the backline, that Tiny with the blink there, like, got the Undying really low right at the start of the fight, which is nice. But yeah, the Brood Mother coming in with the BKB, like, I don't know, this BKB on the Prophet's nice, but it doesn't stop the Brood Mother just running her. And so the Nature's Prophet will just still die. And this is what we were saying, like, even though this Brood Mother didn't do really well early on, they don't have the AoE to be able to deal with all the spiders and everything. Yeah. Like, Nature's Prophet just dies. even though the Nature's Prophets had a really good game so far. But I think every time the Broodmother uses BKB and they don't get an objective for it, I think that's a big deal. Because when this BKB is lower and lower, it's going to be so much easier to kill the Brood. Like, they're going Halberd on the Nature's Prophet as well. Yeah, I like that.
Tusk in trouble. Tree coming over. Nature's Grass thrown down. Blink Avalanche toss, and, you know, this is the strength of the Blink. It just took so long to get here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Now they actually have the jump to be able to get into the fights.
Yeah.
This is why you need to give the Tiny the farm priority to get it quicker, because it does so much work.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm actually just going to go into Roche here.
Dire
Can the Dire fight this? I'm not sure if they can.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They're just going to have to let it go. Right, this is a big deal. I actually thought the Dire were doing really well, but after that fight and now the Spectre getting Aegis, this looks awful for them. Like, he's finished his man Randy has an extra 1,000 gold now.
Yeah, has an extra 1,000 gold, and speaking of 1,000 gold, that's how far the Brood is from finishing off the Ags.
Radiant are scanning.
We'll say the Lifestealer's still having an amazing game.
He is, but he doesn't do any damage still. Like,
Yeah.
through the BKB of the Broodmother. Like, this Mjolnir is all magic damage, right? Like, and it gives him loads of attack speed, which is great, but... So he's really difficult to kill on the Lifestealer, but he doesn't really kill other people very well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ags will come out soon. 4-staff being built for the trainers. Got that medallion. Tiny going 4-staff as well. Basher next for the
Radiant's middle
Spectre.
tower is under attack.
Right now, at least casual Ring of Health. Still.
Oh, casual carry contribution there. Comes in, gets the last hit on the tier 1. After not doing any other damage to it.
Hey, you gotta keep the net worth going up. Brood just casually walked by the Lifestealer. They're gonna use the Haunt. And they are very poorly placed here for Blaze. They'll pop the BKB. Snowball not really going to do much. Avalanche comes in. The Undying does nothing the entire fight. Exorcism gets popped. They'll buy back on Kaz. And Death Prophet now here with the Diffusal. Pops the BKB. And immediately they turn the opposite way. They've used the good overgrowth coming through from Rain. And now
they can keep going here.
They're just going to try and chase. I don't know if that's really worth it. They've got the Silence though onto the Venomancer.
Oh my, that Brood!
The Poison Nova off.
Look at the Brood!
Brood's cliff for a second. Treant in trouble. I thought this wasn't going to go well for Blaze, but I think FTD's their attempt at escaping just...
That was really good by Blaze. Like, so basically what happens is the Brood pops BKB relatively early in the fight, and they manage to delay about 2 seconds of the BKB duration on the Brood by using Snowball, which doesn't sound like a huge amount, but it feels massive. Because now the DP has BKB of her own, and the Nature's Prophet has BKB and everything. As soon as the Broodmother's BKB runs out, this is what I'm saying, like, it's really difficult for them to fight on the Radiant side. Like, the Spectre pops Haunt, but they need the team to be right next to them for when that Haunt goes off.
Mm-hmm.
They can't, like... So, like, everybody comes charging in, but it's just a little bit slow. Like, if everybody was already on top of them when the Haunts popped, then it's different. But that's why you normally see the Spectre's the one that is off farming on the map, right? And then somebody jumps in and then the Spectre uses Haunt, which isn't what happened. They initiated the fight with the Haunt. Mid lane.
Now looking over Snowball. Ooh. Good blink back. Poison Nova gets used. I don't think this is going to turn into anything for the Dream.
Oh, we're going to have spiders versus zombies, I've just realised. Sounds like a really awful film.
Well, with production on movies being slowed down, that might be the movie that comes out this October.
Yeah. And it's just Dota footage. He almost has the AC on the Lifesteal as well, so pretty farmed.
I keep going back.
Caught the Brood
forth.
mid.
BKB's been popped. Snowball gonna
It's the
buy
same
some
again.
time, and it's just wearing out this BKB. They'll get the kill into the Tusk. Now though, Overgrowth is well placed. Haunt comes in, Infest pops. They'll get the kill into the Tiny. Brood now silenced. BKB's been popped by Beyond.
Spectre's in trouble.
They take out Kaz, and they bought back on the Tusk. See if this ends up being worth it. Spectre loses the Aegis. Beyond ends up dead. Spectre back alive. Walrus Punch used. Spectre getting controlled here. Snowball coming in, but the force step onto the low ground with the Exorcism there. Tusk dies the second time in this fight. They've got the Yules onto this Death Prophet, and they're going to continue to give chase and take the kill. So Lifestealer is the only one alive for the side of Blaze, and we'll go to the Rage, try to TP out. The damage is enough. Double kill for the Spectre. Full team wipe for the Dream. And they take advantage of the net worth now.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, the Nature's Prophet really needs his halberd to stop this Brood doing damage. Like, he's so close, but isn't quite there. Like, if they have the double halberd, it's so much. Like, they feel so much scarier. And this defusal on the Broodmother took so much mana off the Lifestealer in that fight. That was really strong. I can't believe the fight went so well. Like, I know they had Aegis, right? So the Spectre effectively has 2 lives. That's why the fight went so well. But, like, I still didn't think it would go that well for them.
Yeah.
I think the Lifestealer losing a lot of his mana to the Brood defusal hurt him a lot.
Dire's middle tower.
No buyback on the Lifestealer. They're just going to take a set of racks.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Avalanche toss, forcing
Okay,
BKB, but you got the one under the Brood.
Yeah, that's. Like, I'm glad you said that because I think that's really important. Like, yeah, they lose their racks, but they get the Brood BKB. So now is it down to 7 seconds? I think maybe 6 seconds. I mean, when there's this double halberd coming out, that's scary. The big problem for me now is that this Undying has basically become a passenger in the game. Like, he's been so well. Feels like he's been close to this mech for a while, but has never ever quite got there. But with that D ward, actually, he's only 150 gold away or so now.
If he can survive through it. Get the golds.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The Lifestealer get a good tier 3 iron.
Spider eggs.
It's okay. He kind of wants like a damage item though, like a Titan Sliver or something, right?
Is under attack.
Maybe even something like an Orb of Destruction would be really good for him.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Now that's an iron. There you go. Oh, Brood's finished MKB.
I deserve this.
Oh. Oh dear. Brood actually hurts now.
Yeah.
Like, Brood's scary now when she doesn't have the BKB up anymore because she can actually just do damage. Especially through this evasion that the Lifestealer has with the talent and the halberd. The MKB is really important.
I'm going to try and fight this. Positioning from Blaze, they need to be very careful. They're just looking to pressure.
Yeah, I don't know how they approach
timing's
this
really
fight
good.
now. They have the mech on the Undying, there's a blink on the Tusk, but they don't have the damage to kill the Brood quickly enough before she gets the BKB off with the ult.
Yeah.
So, like, the Brood's always going to be a threat in the fight. Look at the Brood at the moment, by the way, as well. They're like... I love some of the pathing problems that Brood has. It's always so funny to watch.
They're just staying in a 3k lead right now. They look over the Lifestealer, going into the Abyssal Blade, Nature's Prophet, going Satanic. Death Prophet, Ags next. But not too far off the Ags.
I think the Abyssal Blade's the big one for the Lifestealer, because they can control the Brood then. That's the important
Still
part. Like,
far
they
from
might
the
be able to
ground.
100 to 0 the Brood if they have Abyssal Blade. If they get some, like, lucky chain stuns and things. Because the Brood has no status resistance to help with the bashes. But he's going for a basher of his own. Oh, Lifesteal. That's sorry, Spectre has an Abyssal.
Nope. Walrus Punch comes in. They've got the silence, but Manta Pop. Everybody coming in. Infest goes down as well. Abyssal Blade used. Spectre dead though. They're doing a lot of damage onto the Dire side, but they disarmed this Brood, and the BKB doesn't matter. So now they just need to disengage from For the Dream.
Yeah, they had so many silences there. Like they had the silence from the DP. Oh, hang on,
Oh,
Tusk.
the Tiny.
They find the Yules on the Tiny.
Yeah, shards are a decent spot. They'll still get this kill. They'll take it the Tiny. 2 heroes gone. Snowball for more. A +1.
Man, they managed to turn a Nexus and kill into the Spectre onto 3 because they get the kill on the 2 supports as well. Are they going to go into Roche here? Is it up? Oh, it's just about to spawn.
Courier has been killed.
Oh,
Dire's
that's a
middle
big
barracks are
courier.
under attack.
Push time, I can't see it. Look at the profit on the Brood.
Yeah, Brood's not going to do the damage to get the kill. Ooh, TP. A little longer than I thought it would be.
Can you see the Roche timer? I can't.
No, I can't. There it is. It's
Oh,
up.
okay. That was weird.
Dire's middle barracks are under
And
attack.
that's really sad for the Dire side there because they would have loved to have gone into it before, but now the Spectre's back up again. Doesn't have Haunt for 40, but even so.
God, that feels bad. Another 2 minutes till this Ag's going to be here for Death Prophet.
Nature's Prophet's about to hit level 20 as well, which I actually think is a big deal. Because I think both these talents are really good here. Yeah, he goes for the armor. Like, I think, like, normally the 20% cooldown reduction would be so good here. Like, she has 3 active items. So he has 3 active items on the Nature's Prophet, right? But the Dragon Scale with the armor talent as well makes this guy so tanky now up against the Brood. Like, it becomes a lot more difficult to try and kill him off, like, straight away.
See if they can go after this. Blink into the Walrus Punch. Brood evacuates the pit very quickly. Goes after the Venom
no
Answer with the
exorcism for 10.
Snowball. They've disarmed the Brood Mother. Goes onto the high ground. Now they've got the Lifestealer moving forward as well. Poison Nova gets used as well as the Spectre Haunt. They get the kill into the Tusk.
He
They
needs to
lose the
invest, he
Venom
needs to
Answer. They're
invest.
trying to get this Lifestealer and will kill him off. He's dead without buyback. This is really horrible for Blaze now because they'll focus the Undying, get the kill there. 3 heroes gone on Blaze and make it potentially a 4th Avalanche
He didn't
hit, so
beat
it
me.
will be a 4th.
He didn't BKB on the Prophet, so he just gets avalanched and dies. What just happened? Like, it's so weird. I don't know why they committed so hard for the Veno. Like, as soon as that 4-staff comes out, it drags the Lifestealer and the Tusk into such a bad position. Where, like, the Brood can fight the Lifestealer in 1v1 separately. Because he has no Infest target to get into in the middle of the fight anymore. And that's supposed to be the thing that kites out the BKB duration on the Brood. Who is now level 25 and having a crazy time on top of the hill.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was,
Dire's
yeah.
top tower is under attack.
Well, they spot the gem out, though. On the Dire side. I don't know if the Radiant have seen it yet. It was their gem that dropped, I think. Potentially.
So
Spectre just
Lifestealer's still
walks
dead for
past it.
26.
They have living armor and they have repair... Sorry, they don't have living armor. They have repair kit, I mean.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It really annoys me that the glyph on the tower doesn't also hit Veno wards. I feel like that needs to be a thing.
Dire's middle barracks
Would that make-
are under attack.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't make.
I think
Blade
Veno's
Wars
too strong at
broken.
the moment. Like, so slightly. So I actually think that would be a nice change. But then if you do that, I think you have to do it with Shadow Shaman wards as well, which would be awful for Shadow Shaman. Like, that would destroy that hero. Where did the gem go, by the way? Did they pick it back up again? Yeah, the tree has it. Okay.
I checked the base real quick. Thought it might be there. Spec's still not, top of the net worth, but 7-3 and 8, having a decent game despite the
I think
start.
if they had that exorcism at the start of the Roche fight, I think the fight goes a lot better for them because they don't have to split up so much then because the Veno dies quicker. But yeah, without the without all their damage on Blaze, it's really difficult to take the fights now. Especially because the Spectre's like massive at this point. Like, the Spectre's going to have Skadi soon, and then I think the game's going to be incredibly difficult. Because not only is the Skadi really good up against these range heroes, like the DP and Nature's Prophet to slow them, but the Skadi healing effect on the lifesteal is going to be really strong.
Death Prophet finally gets his axe, by the way. Prince's Knife picked up for the Broodmother. Illusion escape from the Nature's Prophet.
I think he takes that. I think he keeps it. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lifestealer kind of just wants the Paladin sword.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Avalanche. Toss onto an illusion. They look over. Lifestealer. Oy. Jesus, he'll pop the infested.
He's just gone.
Dead.
Like,
94 seconds, no
he's
buyback.
no buyback. What? I actually think that's just the game.
I don't know what you're going to do now as, well, they go after the Tusk. 4 staffs forward, Venomous Gale thrown. They've got the toss out onto the Tusk. Walrus Punch hits onto the Tiny as well as the Spirit Vessel, but he's not going to die. The Tusk will.
Who has a...
And Undying, look at this, in the middle of the base. He's dead too. We've used the Exorcism, Manta to try and run. Undying buys back, but what are you doing here?
Dire's bottom tower.
There's still 59... Like, they can wait for the Exorcism to disappear here as well if they really want. Like, it doesn't have long left either. It's like half duration. So, Exorcism's about to run out here. I think this might be another Celarex hit, unfortunately, for the Blaze side.
It might even be more. BKB's pop by Beyond. Brood very quick to pop BKB every single time, it seems. Visible to use, though, onto the Death Prophet. Poison Nova comes in. Death Prophet in a lot of trouble. The Venomous Gale hits on a Kaz. They'll take out the Death Prophet. Kaz is running back, but he's really... And as long as they push him out of the fight, I think they're okay with this, because they're going to go after Beyond. They'll actually get the kill, and it's a triple for this Broodmother, and GG's called.
What a game by Fly for the Fly. Whenever I see FT at the start, I think of Fly to me. For FTD, that was incredibly like convincing. I think game one was like so in Blaze's favor with how they played the map and everything.